You are now tuned into Flippin' the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome all to episode 75 of Flippin' the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Infante. And how you feeling, man?
I am.
It's been that kind of week already. That's all you can say.
Yeah. That was kind of my reaction when the trade went down, and it was kind of like, what? Are you kidding? What? I get it. No, you're idiots. What? It's kind of you know that meme that came out, that girl when she like tastes something, she's like, It's kind of like that's what it's been for me. I'm on both sides. Like I've tried to teach myself how to be on both sides and think.
It's hard not to be biased about it.
Think of the big picture when the immediate picture is how he again shows that he's an incompetent asshole. But yeah, well.
At least. Well, welcome to everybody that's joining us live. We're going to get to all your questions. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about the top prospects at number 12 and possibly try to dive into why the Eagles did trade back and the possibility of even them maybe trading back once more. So you want to get this question right off the rip out the way? I mean, because I think me and you are a big fan of this prospect.
Let's do it.
So Reggie Smith says, is 12 too early to draft Rashad Bateman if all the top pass catchers are gone as well as the top corners?
Well, let me share my screen. Hold on a minute. Share screen. Okay. This one right here. Share. Okay, good. All right. So we're looking at the draft right now. So the question is 12 too early if all the top pass catchers are gone as well as the top corners? So let's see what we got going now. You know, obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to go there. We're thinking Zach Wilson's going to go to the Jets. Okay. With the Niners there, it's been pretty like heavily speculated that
they're not going Mac Jones. I don't care what nobody's saying.
That Mac Jones is going to the Niners because Kyle Shanahan went to Alabama's pro day instead of Justin Fields. So there's one of two ways you could look at this. You could say one, do they really need to see Justin Fields? Because Justin Fields was on, we all know he's a stud. So maybe they wanted to see if Mac Jones was really a product of Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
Because Mac Jones had fucking weapons around him. Not to say Justin Fields didn't, but Justin Fields looked like he was doing more with less.
He was doing more
with less. Even though Chris Olave is going to be a stud. And they allowed him to work out at the pro day today. But Mac Jones, he had a Heisman winner. He had possibly another Heisman winner if Waddle stayed healthy.
He also had Bill Belichick shaking his head.
He had Najee Harris. Like, he had all these weapons around him. So maybe Kyle Shanahan wants to be like, well, is he the real deal? Is he worth our trade up? Or maybe he really thinks Mac Jones can be that guy. And you just saw, like, when Mac Jones was overthrowing those receivers today.
It was Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0.
The heads were shaking by Bill Belichick, by Kyle Shanahan, by John Lynch. It was like, oof, why did we come here? We wasted our miles on this trip. So it was it was rough. So I'm gonna say let's say they go Mac Jones.
Don't do it. Give me Justin Fields for the Niners. Come on.
I honestly think if Justin Fields goes to the Niners, even though I'm heavily against the Eagles picking, I was heavily against the Eagles picking a quarterback at 6, no matter if it was Justin Fields or whatever, because I'm strongly in the belief that give Jalen Hurts a year. I don't care who's there. Give Jalen Hurts a year, because then you're investing more high draft capital in a quarterback, and you're not giving your current quarterback more weapons, a la Carson Wentz. So I really think, and I'll be on the record obviously right now, if Justin Fields goes to the 49ers, he's A, rookie of the year, and he's B, he could pull Ben Roethlisberger and pull the Niners deep in the playoffs as a rookie, like when Ben Roethlisberger on the Steelers.
Rookie Ben was nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Rookie Ben was real nasty. He came in after Tommy Maddox went down. Whatever, he won 13 games in a row, and they went to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, I think. So I really think that's what happens with Justin Fields. All right, let's say Justin Fields goes to. The Draft Network thinks he goes 3. Look, predictive board. They think he goes 3.
I can't believe that.
Player rankings. They have Justin Fields at 5 and Mac Jones all the way down here somewhere. Where's Mac Jones? He's deep. Hold on.
Ben and Nasty should not be in the same
Mac
sentence.
Jones, 65.
Shout out to Isaac for the savage of a comment.
65. Who's better nasty? Who's better nasty?
Ben, you said Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh.
Did I say Ben was nasty? I think I said
Ben
that.
was. Yeah.
Sorry about that, guy.
You're nasty. So let's go back. Yeah. Okay. Let's give him Justin Fields.
Yes, there we go.
So now there's 2 more ways to go here. Falcons, even though they have what's his face from the Ravens that got traded down there. Oh my God! Someone in
they traded for the tackle?
No, the tight end, Hayden Hurst.
Okay, yeah, but
even though they have Hayden Hurst,
you still
need a tight end there, a real good tight end. Imagine Matt Ryan with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley.
You honestly see like the Falcons not going for a quarterback right now,
but that's what I'm saying. Like Trey Lance, especially with a shortened season. And the limited people are saying that he might be a year or maybe even 2 years away from making an impact. So Albert Breer,
perfect situation for them.
Yeah. So Albert Breer, and his Monday Morning Quarterback said that in this trade. So now we're getting into the trade. It's been working for 3 weeks now. With the 49ers and the Dolphins. It's been working for 2 weeks between the Eagles and the Dolphins. So what happened if no one saw the report yet?
Mm-hmm.
Miami and San Francisco were working on this deal. Miami then went to Howie and was like, "Hey, look, this is what we're planning. This is what we're hearing."
Howie because they knew he was a sucker.
Yeah, this is what we're hearing. This is what we're hearing. What do you think about us trading back up, and we'll give you a first-round pick next year? So apparently, so on the Dolphins side, they're pretty sure quarterbacks go 1 through 4. On the Eagles side, how it was reported in Albert Breer's article that Howie's pretty sure that Chase goes to Bengals at 5. So we go here, we do that. Let's say Trey Lance goes 4, and let's say Jamar Chase goes 5.
Which breaks my heart because, one, I'm not trying to be that biased, but the Bengals don't need a wide receiver more than they need an offensive lineman. They need to protect Burrow. But then they do not need a wide receiver.
But then, so now I'm on the Monday morning of Football Morning in America by Peter King, and let me quickly scroll down to what he says here. Where is it? Okay. So now how do the big passes stack up now? Trevor Lawrence goes to Jacksonville, Wilson 2, probably the Jets. Mac Jones or Lance to San Francisco at 3. So he's saying Mac Jones or Trey Lance, not Justin Fields. I keep hearing Atlanta's leaning quarterback, with logic having Lance sitting behind Matt Ryan for 2 years, then playing. Mm-hmm. So let's say it's Lawrence, Wilson, Jones, and Lance. So he's on the bus of Mac Jones to San Francisco. He's also guessing Jamar Chase to LSU. I mean,
LSU.
I'm sorry, he's not going back to school, to Cincinnati. So,
Chase should go back to school instead of Cincinnati.
but then it says, and then who knows? I guess Miami at 6 would be thrilled with Pitts, Waddle, or Devontae Smith. Detroit would go tackle or weapon at 7, and then 8. For now, it's Carolina. It would be mock convenient to slide Justin Fields in there to the Panthers, but I'm not so sure. He better hit all the night right notes. No idea who's picking from him a month from today. So he honestly doesn't even know where Justin Fields is going.
All right. So just a little quick break. I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like Justin Fields is the stud of this quarterback group. I mean,
So
Trevor Lawrence is the
right now?
savior, but you don't feel like Justin Fields is that guy right now? I mean,
I think he's being heavily underappreciated right now.
Is this Lamar Jackson 2.0, like how they treated him in the draft?
Well, nah, I don't think so because Lamar went 32. So, I don't think that's going to be that. So let's do this again. So hold on. So, what am I doing? Okay. So we have Trevor Lawrence. What is going on here? Oh my God!
By the way, shout out to Draft Network because I think we use them for pretty much everything in the draft wise.
Yeah. All right. So let's say Trevor Lawrence goes 1. So let's say Mac Jones goes 3. I don't want to do it, but let's just go by the reports. Trey Lance goes 4. Jamar Chase goes 5. So now, and I agree with Turbo. If you're doing this, you better be damn certain that Riley Wright, who they just signed, is the answer at left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They lost out on Joe Thuney for guard. He went to the Chiefs. I thought that maybe the Eagles and Cincinnati could pull a trade for Andre Dillard, and maybe that would swing. Maybe that would swing Cincinnati to Chase, but their line is real shaky right now. So now we're at Miami.
Okay.
Miami has Gesicki. I think they still need a tackle as well. I'm not sure. It's not high up on their needs. Edge is a big need. Running back's a big need, but you're not picking Najee Harris. You're not picking Edge up here.
But look at the first need.
But wide receiver. So, do they go with Jalen Waddle or do they go with Devontae Smith to pair up with Tua?
So they have Devontae Parker already, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Parker's game is similar to Devontae Smith's.
That's what I'm saying. I think Jalen Waddle here is probably the answer.
He's the guy. He's the speed threat.
So now we're at pick 7. Who they could also they just drafted TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, they're not going tight end.
They're not going Kyle Pitts. They could really go tackle here. Or do they go Devontae Smith here? Because they just lost Galladay. They just lost Marvin Jones.
But then they sign on.
So the need is there.
Oh, wow. They could really go wide receiver because they don't really have any receivers right now.
Right now, I'll tell you right now. Right now, at wide receiver, they signed Tyrell Williams.
Oh, yes, they did. Okay.
Who's always hurt.
Yeah.
They got Brashad Perriman.
Okay.
And Tom Kennedy.
I don't know what else that is.
So I mean, if you want Jared Cook to really get going with this, maybe you get, let's say, Devontae Smith goes there.
But you could before you click that button, you can draft Kyle Pitts and use him as wide receiver. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, he's not only a tight end.
And right now, but at the same time, right now on their offensive line, they have a great center in Frank Ragnow.
Mm-hmm.
Their right tackle is Big V.
Oh, they need a tackle. Yeah, they need a draft.
And their left tackle right now is Taylor Decker. And Taylor Decker got drafted in 2016. He's been there for a little while. I'm not sure how good he is. I don't follow Detroit, but it's still pretty good need. So let's say, let's go Sue there. Let's go Sue there. So now here it is. Here's Carolina. They're sitting here. Do they believe in?
They go Justin Fields.
Do they believe in Teddy Bridgewater?
No, they don't.
Do they want to? Do they put in for a Rashawn Slater to protect them and get the ground game going with CMC?
No, you go Justin Fields.
Do they go Patrick Surtain?
No, would you stop and pull the trigger?
With a defensive minded head coach, and that defense would be real good if they added a really stud corner.
Stop. You can't sell this any other way besides Justin Fields. You go quarterback. You get the college kid with a college coach, and you make noise. You rule the field.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. So all right. So let's do Justin Fields. So here's the deal. Here's another thing. All right. So Denver just lost out on 5 quarterbacks. Well, let's say they lost out 3 because then they weren't getting Trevor Lawrence, they weren't getting Zach Wilson.
Well, time out real quick. I'm curious to know because Philly first just commented that this is a waste. I'm not sure if the mock draft is a waste or if it's just us taking up his time is a waste.
I'm a waste.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Sorry, Philly and Cassius. You guys appreciate the view, but you can log the fuck off if you want. Like it's simple. I get it. It's Tuesday. You're tired. You want to go to bed? Go ahead. Go to bed. So here's Broncos. So they lose out on the next 3 quarterbacks after the big 2.
So
do they go Parsons?
Well, time out. Kyle Pitts is still on board.
I know. So let me finish my damn thought.
I already know where you're going with this, so let's hit it.
So they're missing out on the first one here. Next one, Michael Parsons. Do they think Parsons would drop down to 12? Do they think Rashawn Slater would drop down to 12? Do they think Surtain or J.C. Horn would drop down to 12? See, I feel like that they should have this group of guys they feel confidently would go down to 12 to make a move with the Eagles. Because here at 10, you would think Cowboys would go Surtain or Horn there because their defense fucking blows. Absolutely blows.
Yeah, Cowboys are definitely going cornerback.
But they need a tight end real bad. So imagine that Cowboys offense with Dak back, with Zeke, with CeeDee Lamb, with Michael Gallup, and Kyle Pitts.
So are you suggesting that the Eagles pull a Dallas Goedert 2.0 in the draft?
I think because with the defense in the draft, I think it's deeper in this draft than most people want to realize. Later on, you can get guys like Greg Newsome might fall because of other positions getting picked. You get Tyson Campbell. You got
and who knows how far Caleb Farley's going to fall with the injury.
Exactly. You got the Caleb Farley's going to fall. You got the cornerbacks from Syracuse that are going to be down there. If Sean Wade ever wants to be a Sean Wade cornerback again, there's a lot of secondary pieces later in the draft that you can have. Do the Cowboys go tight end there to kind of A, fuck with us, and B, make a monster offense? You gotta think of the Giants too. I know they have Evan Ingram, and a lot of people want to say Kyle Pitts is
Ingram hasn't been extended. 2.0.
I know. Yeah. So people want to say Kyle Pitts is 2.0, is of Evan Ingram 2.0. The Giants also need a linebacker bad, so maybe they go Parsons. So what if we do this?
Before you click on the trade, what is the value of Eagles jumping from 12 to 9?
A first and a third, easy.
Okay, so it's light. It's not going to take the floor.
So if we're going Eagles and it's Broncos, we're looking at this. We're looking at 1, and we could do 84. In this, like it'll go in the Draft Network's mock draft. This will go. I think it'll probably take 12 and 70.
Yeah.
So if we do that, Broncos are evaluating. Blah blah blah. Thank you so much. Here we are at 9, picking the 4th best player in the draft and in the TDNs here. And that's going Kyle Pitts. So
let's focus on Kyle Pitts for a second. Tight end to everybody's knowledge right now, but he's more than that. The route running is crispy. His natural ability to get separation is phenomenal. I mean, the guy, to me, and this is a high expectation, but I feel like he's somewhat of a version of Calvin Johnson. Not that Hall of Fame caliber, but
be careful.
And I'm trying to be careful, but he has that skill set where he can go up and grab the ball, and he has a phenomenal catch rate. It's like the guy can't miss when the ball's in the air.
Yeah,
it's literally like playing Madden with him.
Like it's, but He's so fucking gifted. He's
He's a
so
natural
gifted. He's so
talent.
gifted. That's why like Cassius and Just Fast and Dallas doesn't have a defense. We get it. Like we understand. I get it. But like if I'm a coach or a GM, I'm like, this is an offense. It's really become an offensive league.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, your defense has to get a stop, and at some point, your defense does get a stop. I'm looking at my newly signed quarterback, Dak Prescott. You're looking at maybe the next 1 or 2 years of Ezekiel Elliott back there, because I would assume that they're going to cut him at some point and get that contract off the books. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Michael Gallup.
You got to compete with them.
You got Kyle Pitts. If you put Kyle Pitts in there, that offense is up there with the Kansas City. That offense is up there with the Bills. And Green Bay had an incredible offense. You're looking at an offense like Tampa Bay, where they have Tom Brady, they have Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Gronk, but they have the defense to back it up. But this is something I think.
I feel like it's a must. If Kyle Pitts falls that deep, you have to jump up and make the move to get him. And then shout out to Justin from PSN's other podcast for the Union, Do Out by the River.
Yeah, hey
Justin. You have to go for Kyle Pitts. He's a generational talent. Like you can't miss on this.
I think if the draft falls like how we just did it, which I think it's very possible. I think Kyle Pitts is there if Howie wants to make a move, and if that's the case, if Howie does it, he'll silence a lot of people. Because then not me, because I still think he sucks. Because in that case, you just caused an explosion of angry people with the trade. From 6 to 12, and people are sharing all these different. How many Hall of Famers have been drafted in picks 1 through 10, and how many have been drafted in 11 and 12? Well, look at what happens here. Look at the people picked at 6, and look at the people picked at 12. The draft is such a fucking crapshoot. It really is. Like wide receivers wise, there's been one Pro Bowler wide receiver picked in the top 10 in the last decade. It's been Amari Cooper. Yes. So it's the Pro Bowlers and the All Pros. I looked up this article that the average pick of all pro wide receivers, the average pick is 27th. So no, I believe that's the median pick. No, something like that. Yeah, it has to be the average pick. So the average is 27.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more likely you're going to get a stud wide receiver later in the rounds than it is other positions. I think the All-Pro thing, it heavily favored quarterbacks and defensive linemen. And
but it's less likely that you ever see a Kyle Pitts in the NFL draft.
Exactly, and it's less likely that you see a Jamar Chase. But at the same time, now next year, let's say they do get the Kyle Pitts somehow at number 9. Next year, you have 3, right now 2, but we're assuming 3 first-round picks next year in a draft where there is a stud at Clemson by the name of Justin Ross. He's 6'3", 6'4", or something. This dude is a stud, and he's not yet on the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase levels like that, CeeDee Lamb, stuff like that. He's not at that level yet, but he still has. You need to get a year of college football next year. That guy can solidify himself as a real player. So let's say the Dolphins absolutely suck next year with Tua. Let's say Tua really isn't the real deal. Because if you don't remember, a lot of the time last year, the new quarterback for the Washington team is the one who was leading the Dolphins to those wins last year, Brian Fitzpatrick. Mm-hmm. And how many times did Brian Flores pull Tua in favor of Ryan Fitzpatrick last year? So is Tua not the answer? So maybe they flounder next year. Dolphins flounder next year, and they don't do well. You have a high first round pick now, and let's say the Eagles don't do great either. That's another high first round pick next year.
Is it possible for the Eagles to have 2 picks in the top 10?
It's possible they had 2 in the top 15. I'll take top 10. I think probably top 2 in the top 16, top half of the draft. Colts, I think they'll be in the 20s. As you know, whatever you want to think about Carson Wentz, they're going to have a really good team next year.
Yeah, they're gonna.
And if he's healthy, AFC South right now is looking like a dumpster fire. You got the Texans aren't going to be very good. Titans, who knows? Titans, who knows what's going to happen with them? They lost 2 good receivers. So right now they have Tannehill.
Yeah, but AJ Brown has been.
I know. Okay, but what if AJ Brown also had Corey Davis and Adam Humphries by him? So now
Corey Davis wasn't putting up crazy numbers to keep AJ Brown.
I know that. I'm just saying, but what if he's the real number 1 guy and they're like, there's other stuff that we don't have to focus on now. So they have the 3-headed weapon.
Okay.
I don't want to put Ryan Tannehill in a 3-headed monster kind of thing. But you have Tannehill, Henry, and AJ Brown. Then you have the Colts. Who the hell is the AFC South? Colts, Titans, Texans.
That's it, right? There's no
That's not 3 teams. There's not 3 teams in the division. Colts, Titans, Texans, and
if you can get it before I can find it,
and
you win the grand prize.
And I'm blanking super hard on this.
I think it's taking forever to load.
Oh my god!
If you guys know it in the chat, by all means, knock right through.
Oh my god!
Good standings. So AFC South, we have Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Who will be led by
Trevor
Trevor Lawrence.
So Trevor Lawrence.
And damn, I forgot his name. Jones.
Sydney.
No, Jones from Detroit, not Sydney.
Yeah, shut up, Jaguar. Yeah, learn how to spell Jaguars. Jaguars.
I thought you got Jay Fizz a little frustrated, bro.
Jaguars.
Shout out to Jay Fizz.
No. Look at the comments. Look at the comments above it. He was spelling it wrong.
Yeah, no, I see it.
Yeah.
He put a Jaguars.
Jaguars. That's the Hispanic way to say it. Jaguars. So you're looking at the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I think they'll have a good team, but I don't think they're a division winning team next year.
Not at all,
so it's really going to be the Colts versus the Titans for the title next year.
Listen, the way that Carson's looking on Instagram, the way he's flexing out.
Oh, he's so happy.
Buddies, hey, ecstatic, bro.
When?
They're going to stop in the Colts next season. I don't know what said.
In the 5 years that he was with the
Eagles,
when did he ever do that?
Bro, I've never seen this man post anything outside of an advertisement on Instagram. Now he's posting videos of him boxing. I didn't know the guy boxed.
Like the fact that, I mean, I get it because what field are you going to be plowing in Philadelphia? But he's
saved the environment in Philadelphia.
Yeah, maybe the suburbs out there. But he is living his best life right now. He is away from Howie Roseman, and he is so happy right now.
He's ecstatic right now. But
I think a happy and excited Carson Wentz is very good for us because then it's going to be a first-round pick.
Well, so what's the conditions? More than 75%.
There's 2 conditions. 75%. No matter what, if he makes 35%, it's a first-round pick. If he plays between 70% and 74.9%, they have to make the playoffs.
Okay, which I'm pretty sure they 75.
Yeah, so
let's think about it this way. So if the Eagles don't make that jump, and the Cowboys take Pitts, we have. I personally think we probably had 3 options on the board: Devontae Smith, J.C. Horn, and possibly Patrick Surtain. I mean, I could be wrong because I think Giants go Micah Parsons. I don't think they go cornerback.
See, even if like what Cash just said, if Parsons goes down to 12, I'm still pretty damn hesitant on him because
it's the personality thing with him.
I need to hear him talk about what happened at Penn State. The fact that that's what you left the school on because you opted out of 2020 because of COVID. So the lasting memory of Micah Parsons outside of his football play. Because as a football player, he's a monster. He's an absolute monster.
Yeah,
but is he also a monster outside of the football field? Because then that's something, like that. Like when we have people on, and we're going to announce our new guest later on. We have
last episode, we did have Sean Bradley, linebacker at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Current linebacker, not prospect. Yes. Current linebacker from Sean Bradley, from the Eagles. Sean Bradley was on our podcast last week. Great interview. Absolutely great interview. We have a new prospect coming up. Sure, we'll tell you. Not today. It's not coming today, but we'll tell you today. But what we've been doing with these prospects and these players is we want you to learn about the person also, because they're people. As much as you want to curse at them and yell at them on Twitter, they're people. So when you're looking at Michael Parsons, the person, how much of a douchebag is he? So I think he needs to really own up to that, because if I'm owning a general manager of a team and drafting, that's something, because you don't want that type of person on your team.
I completely agree with that sentiment. I mean, if you're trying to rebuild the culture around around winning and around a family kind of environment, Mika Parsons isn't the guy for me. But we are at the half-hour mark. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking it's kind of a throwback, but it's also not a throwback because it's not this the actual name of the show. But they changed it up. It's called the Finstones. See, there's sharks on here.
I see that.
So that's why it's called the Finstones.
Okay. So double
I thought it was appropriate because we just did a trade with the Fins.
That is actually very appropriate, and I respect that.
Yeah, I always come prepared. It's a double IPA.
It's kind of a throwback. I'm drinking Sting Like a Bee with Muhammad Ali on it. Look at that.
It's because when you pee, it stings like a bee.
No, my peas never sting. What is wrong with you?
See, that's what happens.
But how can our lovely viewers get their hands on some nice IPA?
So you can go to Tavour.com, TAVOUR.com, or you can go on the app, Tavour. It's a beige app with like a beer glass on it overflowing because the person didn't know how to pour the beer. And you put in FTB10. And after you spend $25, you get $10 to use on the next purchase. So that's really cool. You could put in some rare beers, some hard to get beers in there, and it's delicious. And not only IPAs, it's beers of all kind. It's delicious. I've been on a real sour kick lately.
I can't stand sour.
Shout out to Matthew Elmer, my boy, the Heffer Weisenberg, on Twitter. He hooked me. I met up with him a few weeks ago. He gave me some beers, and it's pretty much sours, and it really got me into more sours. Tomorrow, I'm heading over to Magnify in Fairfield, New Jersey, because they are releasing a new Easter beer tomorrow, and I will tell you right now what it's called because I'm very excited, and I am anticipating getting there at like 1:30, 1:45, and it being sold out already.
I need an examination of your kidneys because I need to see like what they look like.
My kidneys. Let me tell you a story. So back when I was in college, a senior year in college.
Okay.
I had to do, for those worrying about it at home, I'm a gym teacher. And being a gym teacher, you actually have to do like actual like things in college, like go do anatomy, do biology.
I didn't get to do anything because every gym teacher I ever met just like got picked up off the street.
Exactly. Yeah. We go through the ringer and we go through the ringer in college to do nothing in school.
Okay.
So anatomy and physiology, biomechanics, exercise physiology, psychology. So one of my classes was they stuck us in the woods for 2 weeks. It was called adventure activities, and they stuck us in the woods for 2 weeks with no cell phone service, no nothing. I canoed 70 miles, and it was the worst. And my leader was telling me how he was convinced that his livers were fucking black as ever because he drank every single day. Jaeger, whiskey, vodka, beer, everything, you name it. And he went into the doctor and they did CAT scans of his liver. Completely clean. Like your liver is such a great organ, and it's so hard. Like you don't understand how much you have to actually drink for your liver to take damage. And like if you get liver damage from drinking, you are drinking way too much. So it's like, and like,
well, that's why I need an examination of your liver.
No, my liver's fine. My liver's fine, and my kidneys fine. But if you look at this, magnify, look how white that beer is.
Is it a sour?
It's called Egg Hunt. It's a 5.5% Easter candy inspired smoothie sour brewed with lactose and conditioned on vanilla ice cream and marshmallows. First off, there's so much ice cream in this beer that it's white. Egg Hunt has just the tartness and bold notes of vanilla milkshakes, vanilla soft serve cones from your local ice cream trucks, and your favorite Easter marshmallow bunnies and chicks. So I'm gonna get that tomorrow. It's probably gonna be delicious because this brewery does not miss. Absolutely does not miss. So I'm gonna get that tomorrow.
Well, you go ahead and get that. So now let's get
I will.
that.
I already said I will.
All right. Well, let's get this. If the Eagles don't go offense, I'm of the on the growing thought that J.C. Horn is the only person I want at 12. I want a cornerback that's going to be groomed by Darius Slay and that's going to grow with Darius Slay for the next 2 years.
To go back to our first comment of the day, I started the draft and I completely went off topic from Reggie Smith. So if you're still here, Reggie, sorry.
Rashad Bateman. I forgot about that.
So I do my number one pick at 12 is J.C. Horn. If Pitts is not there, I'd like him more than Patrick Surtain also. But even though I don't think what he said earlier, he said, is 12 too early to draft Bateman if all the top pass catchers are gone as well as the top corners. I don't think it's actually possible for that to happen because we had the quarterbacks are going to go at least 5 picks in the top 11 before 12. So now you have 6 picks to go, and you got Jamar Chase is 1, Jalen Waddle is 2, Sewell is 3, Pitts is 4, maybe Surtain is 5. So you got Rashawn Slater, maybe Kwity Paye moves in
God, don't piss off fans, please.
Micah Parsons gets in there. So I don't think it's possible for all the top pass catchers and top corners to be out by 12. So you're looking at J.C. Horn. But with that said, would I be upset if Bateman's picked at 12? No, because I think Bateman's going to be an absolute stud in the league.
Do you think he's going to be a Pro Bowler? Because I personally feel like Bateman is probably the most complete receiver in this draft.
I think people are looking way too much at 2020, where the season was canceled, and then they came back, and he was deciding he was going to prepare for the draft anyway.
Okay.
But then he came back, and there was reports that he actually battled COVID, and he was sick, and then the Gophers' offense was actually freaking horrible, and they were using him in all these different ways to get something going, and they just couldn't. They just couldn't. So people are really harping on him on that. But if you look at any analyst who has really studied Bateman's tape, they love him. Absolutely,
he's a stud. The guy he does everything that Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle does well. Sure, he doesn't have Waddle speed, but he gets separation.
My thing is with Bateman, if you're gonna hold 2020 on him, fine. You should also hold 2020 on Jamar Chase too. He didn't play
at all.
So if you're looking at
Jalen Waddle, who got injured,
and Jalen Waddle, so if you're not, I'm not saying that Bateman's better than Chase. I'm not at all. But the tape that you want to watch for Rashad Bateman is 2019. Same thing with Jamar Chase. Same thing really with Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle in a few games this year showed out absolutely, but his most is 2019. So if we're looking at 2019, mostly for a lot of these prospects, because 2020 was so shortened and such a crazy season, Bateman's an absolute stud. And he's an all-around receiver. More likely than not, he's going to be that receiver that drops down in the 20s because of all the other positions being picked, and he's going to be the next Justin Jefferson, being picked at 22 and going off to be the best receiver in the league next year, the best rookie receiver in the league.
If I had a sound effect for like a standing ovation, you would get one right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I should
you hit it right on the nail. Bateman is this year's Justin Jefferson, and if nobody that the Eagles should take is available, you go Bateman, or you trade back probably 3 or 4 picks. And you go Bateman.
Right. It's that easy. I mean, I had a mock draft earlier in March where the Eagles traded back to 20. And was able to pick up Rashad Bateman. I think he's a really, really good player. At 12, people aren't going to like it because of the spot in the draft where it goes. But the fact of the matter is, if you like a guy, you're going to pick a guy no matter where it is, and people are going to get pissed off. People are going to think it was too early. People are going to think it was too late. Whatever. We all suck.
It doesn't matter as long as you get your guy. Get your guy. I don't care where you get him. Just get your guy. Call it a day.
It's it. And if you strongly believe, like last year, we're hoping last year is the last year we hear that the coaches wanted Rager, but the scouts wanted Jefferson. We hope that's the last year where we hear the coaches wanted this guy, but the scouts wanted this way, Howie wanted this way. We hope that now with a new team and actually a lot more scouts in the staff now. There's a lot more scouts in the staff now. Jonathan Gannon, new defensive coordinator, used to be a scout.
Dude, I freaking love that man. Freaking love him.
His energy is absolutely great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
You have guys and DB coach hanging out with the scout at a pro day, the Virginia Tech pro day. You have a lot of the scouts hands-on now, just watching these guys. So you would think that they're all on the same page. Like, listen, he might have been going, projected this far, but he is this guy. He is the guy to get. If you wait too long, this team's going to jump you and get him. So it's
real quick question. Just fast 20-20. Will we trade? This is a big thing. Just to put this out there, will we trade Ertz before the draft? Finish your thing, and then we'll jump to that question. You're scouts.
Yeah, no, I'm done. My thing about Ertz is, I thought maybe the Eagles could maybe make a trade with Carolina at 8 that involves Ertz, and I say that maybe it would be 12. I still think it's a third round pick, 84, and maybe Ertz 4-8, and maybe another fourth round pick or fifth round pick, maybe, because the last few weeks, I think maybe or more earlier this month, Ertz has been on CMC's Instagram a lot, liking some stuff. I think he liked a lot of Panther stuff too. But I get that CMC's a Stanford alum.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, but it seems like that's where you want to go. So if he goes there, and that gives that offense, and even that's what I'm saying about Teddy Bridgewater. Maybe they give Teddy Bridgewater another year. Maybe they draft a Kyle Trask later on in the draft.
Maybe they drop a Mac Jones that would not be number 3 overall later on.
Yeah, so maybe. But maybe if Mac Jones somehow slips to 12, maybe they get him there. But you give Teddy Bridgewater a guy like Zach Ertz with CMC in your backfield, with the Moores, both DJ Moore and David Moore, who just came over from Seattle. You got Robbie Anderson too. That's a pretty damn good offense. I think Zach Ertz, that's a good spot for him. I feel that trade has to be done soon, man. I think Ertz.
I think or something, because it doesn't make sense that why hold out this long.
I mean, I think you see some obvious teams getting stronger at tight end. You saw Buffalo got some. I forget who did they pick up.
I forgot who they picked up, but it was
but it was a tight end. Gerald Everett, I think, went to Seattle. Jared Cook went to the Chargers, I think. Someone else went to
Patriots got 2 tight ends.
Patriots got 2 tight ends. The Packers, I think,
They did pick somebody up.
Who the hell did they get? But they picked up someone. So the suitors are going out. The Colts are still there. Maybe they do something with the Colts again.
But don't they have Mo Alley Cox and
Mo Alley Cox I think he's coming back, but he's a restricted free agent. But come on, I'm sorry. Zach Ertz obviously is on the maybe on the way out. Maybe not to other teams, but to us maybe. But he's not Mo Alley Cox. Mo Alley Cox is not Zach Ertz. If the coach is like, listen, we can get Zach Ertz, they're gonna go. They're gonna go get Zach Ertz. He loves Wentz. Wentz loves him. It makes sense. So.
It makes all the sense in the world. So getting away from the draft, we have our expectations. We said, who we feel like the Eagles should pick and all the scenarios that they should make. Now let's talk about the remaining part of free agency, because over the weekend it was mentioned that they will be adding a cornerback within the next couple of days. Nothing's happened since. We do have a question in the chat from Jay Fizzle. Shout out to him because he's been a super loyal member of not only PSN but
even though his food takes suck, he's a loyal man.
I'm sorry, Jay. I can't control Chris that much.
Can't control me ever.
Any other free agent names we could pick up that might affect the draft, even though we're broke? We have so many people, Jay. I don't got the Eagles money.
I think what we have. I think we have $3 million right now.
Yeah, we have $3 million.
So I think you need 10 to 15 million to sign all the rookies. So it's rough. It's rough out there.
Wait, if we traded Ertz away, does that help our?
I think that saves like $5 million, maybe 4 or 5 million.
We're still under no matter what.
Yeah. So I think at corner you're looking at
So we have the most picks in the draft, but we have no money to sign these guys.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
such a Philly thing.
So you're looking at corners. Steven Nelson just got released from the Steelers, so that's a name to look out for. That's
Big name to look out for.
You still got Casey Hayward is out there.
Another big name to look out for.
Who is 31, but still he could still play. Imagine Casey Hayward on one side, Darius Lee on the other. Man,
quarterback in the second or third.
That duo will be so good in 2012, man. You got Brian Poole who left the Jets. Quentin Dunbar. I like Quentin Dunbar. He's
Is he still dealing with that legal issue or no?
What?
Is he still dealing with the legal issue?
No, I think he got cleared. DeAndre Baker didn't, but
DeAndre also was.
I think he's visiting 2 teams today or tomorrow. Richard Sherman's still out there.
He is out there, but Rich is kind of
Darius Slay. It's Richard Sherman's birthday today. I know this because Darius Slay, happy birthday to him. And Richard Sherman said, "Thank you, my guy." And I responded to both of them saying 25 is open. And even though that was LaShawn McCoy's number.
Talk about that. Why is 25 still open if 36 is open? I mean, wait, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Why is 25 not been taken, but 36 has been taken?
Because 25 is the leading all-time rusher in Eagles history and 36 is not.
But didn't 36 make more of an impact on the team back then?
Okay.
Couple of NFC championships. He was a part of it.
I absolutely love Brian Westbrook. Okay. I absolutely love him. But you mean but Brian Westbrook did not make more of an impact on the Eagles than LaShawn McCoy did.
He was definitely a very impactful player.
He's a very absolutely. Absolutely.
No. You had the floor, sir. Don't make me mute you. Listen, he made an impact to help the team get to those consecutive. Who
was his quarterback those years?
Donovan freaking McNabb.
Oh, okay. Who was LaShawn McCoy's quarterbacks during his career in the Eagles?
Nick Big D Foles.
We got a list here. We got Nick Foles. We got Mark Sanchez. We got Kevin Cobb.
I get it. But I feel like franchise-wise, Westbrook was more of an impact. The Eagles made a decision to let Chip Kelly trade LaShawn McCoy for a bag of beans.
Oh no! Now I'm going to disagree with you again. Kiko Alonso was
he's the bag of beans. The guy who freaking wears a crop top on the field. Come on.
Kiko Alonso, the defensive, he was close to a defensive rookie of the year with all his tackles. He got hurt. I get it. He got hurt. But that guy could play. Not in our scheme. But you saw as soon as he went to Miami, what did he do? He continued to play.
But now with the Eagles.
When he went to New Orleans.
Do you know who New Orleans? LaShawn McCoy balled with the Eagles.
Okay. More than Brian Westbrook.
And they traded him for a bag of beans in a crop top.
That is disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful. And I'm feeling that way right now.
That is absolutely disrespectful. That's what I feel about that. That's what I feel about that. And you know what else is disrespectful? You not using Manscaped. When you use Manscaped, you're being respectful not only to yourself and your balls, but to your loved ones too. Because you don't want them to pull your pants down and then be like, oh shit, that's disrespectful down there. Make sure you are being respectful to yourself and your health by going to manscaped.com, using promo code FTB at checkout. Getting 20% off, free shipping, great stuff, awesome. So be respectful to yourself, be respectful to your balls, and everything else down there. And get the Lawnmower 3.0. Great razor, great buzzer.
Make sure you invest in some ball deodorant, guys, because that's a lifesaver.
I'm telling you, if you're someone who works on their feet all the time, that ball deodorant you put down there, the chafing is non-existent. So later on, when you're coming home, you're not like doing the penguin waddle inside because your thighs are too.
You're not doing the Jalen waddle.
Yeah. Shut up.
Shout out to everybody that's joining us live tonight. So yes, free agency, cornerbacks. So you did mention the names that are available right now.
And then after Richard Sherman, you're looking at Darqueze Dennard. You're looking at Michael Roby Coleman.
They didn't take their swing at William Jackson. And you should be more upset because you've been vying for him for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah. I've been vying for a lot of people. Yeah. You know what? I'm pissed off at myself for being. Last week, when we had Sean Bradley on, I completely forgot to ask him if he asked Hassan Reddick if he wanted to come to Philly. Because they were Temple boys. I should have asked him. That's the
He was
right.
super
He was
shout out to
pissed.
somebody because he was super blunt with us and super
I'm
open.
pissed.
So
Yeah.
that's phenomenal to really see.
You're looking at AJ Bouye, Jason McCourty, who's 34. You're looking at Garyon Conley, Brashad Breeland,
How was
DJ
Conley now?
Halen.
About 25?
Conley's 26.
Okay.
You're looking at Josh Norman.
Maybe.
Outside of cornerback, I still think they could make a run for James Conner. I think he would be a perfect complement to Miles Sanders. You still got guys like let's see, Antonio Brown.
No, he went
You still got guys like Jadeveon Clowney. Outside of that, you got Melvin Ingram. I would love to see Melvin Ingram.
That would be a good pickup.
He's 32. Yeah. He's 32. He's hurt a lot, but who isn't on the Eagles? Who is at 32 and hurt a lot on the Eagles? I feel like that's the whole damn team. When he's healthy, he's an impact player, and he knows Sirianni. He knows Steichen. Even though obviously opposite sides.
Yeah, but you
got Olivier Vernon. You got Justin Houston, who
would not be a bad pickup.
You got Justin Houston, who was just on the Colts, where Jonathan McDaniel was.
Yep.
Jonathan McDaniel was there. You got KJ Wright. I would love for them to add KJ
he's
Wright.
in negotiations with Dallas right now. They're missing a KJ wants a 2-year deal. Dallas wants a 1-year deal. So that's the issue right now. But expect that sign to be complete soon.
Who cares about Alden Smith? He's a terrible person.
Was he bad? He didn't have a bad season.
No, he's still good, but he's a terrible person. Did you look at Todd Gurley?
Wait, Todd Gurley's a free agent though?
He's only 27.
No, wait, Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley's a free agent. Fuck the Falcons. He's not going back to the Falcons. He's a free agent. He's only 27. He's got a lot of tread on those tires. But a 1-year deal to prove that he still got it?
And be the number 2 guy, that's perfect, bro. Wow, Todd is still a free agent. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, you got Duke Johnson. You got Duke Johnson. You got
we got Duck. Shout out to Duck, by the way. I finally said it right.
It's about time. You got Quan Alexander, who's only 27.
Which is another mystery as to why he's not signed yet. Like, I mean,
you got Golden Tate.
No, we're not doing that again. I'm sorry.
You got Alshon Jeffrey.
No. Now we're ending the show with that. Like, why would you even recommend that?
LJ Fort is a free agent now.
So Alex, yes, the deodorant from Manscaped is a lot better than anything you get in the retail stores. Lotrimin.
Yeah, just go to Manscaped. Tell them
it stops the shape and it smells phenomenal.
Yeah, you got some good names out there. You got Ryan Kerrigan. I would imagine get Ryan Kerrigan.
Yes, that would be great. That's a Chris Long kind of pickup, in my opinion. Kerrigan has a good couple years around behind him.
I mean, you got guys like Avery Williamson. I would love to get him.
Wait, he's a free agent still?
Yes, he's.
Where did you after him at? Like via trade? Or was that you?
No, that was me.
Oh, damn.
I make so many trade articles that sometimes it blends in with me. You got Rasul Douglas. I would like to see Rasul Douglas on this team.
I think it'll be great.
I think he would be a really good backup to whoever we draft, but it would still be solid. Like see him in a different scheme.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently,
if Rasul gets signed and works out with this team, how we could use that to boast? Like, hey, it wasn't me, guys. Even though we know it's you, little weasel.
Apparently, Mr. God Almighty Adam Kaplan himself said that Rasul Douglas isn't coming back, but who cares about that guy? And there's really not really names. I mean, you got D.D. Westbrook, who's a free agent.
Not a bad pickup either.
You got Cordero Patterson's a free agent still. I mean, we need help in the return game real bad. So like there's some names out there still, but it's going to be tough. But especially when you're only offering, Sour Patch Kids and an IOU.
$500,000 and a free stay at the hotel, Wyndham or some crap like that.
Yeah, like we'll send you to the W free, and that's it. But there's still names out there. Obviously those.
You can still get impact.
It can happen. It can happen. Maybe these players whose markets have dried out, and they're like, "Listen, I'll play for a 1-year deal for this, and then I'll go back to free agency next year." Maybe
it works.
You know what? Hey, listen, Alex. I have bad knees also, but listen, I'm still valuable.
It's because you don't gotta use your knees for this job. All right, guys. So we got about 6 minutes left in the podcast. For everybody that's following us right now live, if you guys want to shoot some questions, if not, I do want to ask Chris in the meantime, his opinion on the current wide receiver depth chart. Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham. We just re-signed Greg Ward, John Hightower, Quez Watkins, JJ still on the team. I personally think I'm of the thinking that you get a nice guy like Watt or Smith, you pair him with Fulgham on the outside and Reagor in the middle. You have a good offense.
I think people are really downplaying the depth of this wide receiver class in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think later on, like if you were to go J.C. Horn first pick, my hope is Kyle Pitts. Obviously, it's my hope. My second one is J.C. Horn. My third is Rashad Bateman. But later on, you got guys like De'Ami Brown from UNC.
He's nasty.
He is good.
The kid is nasty. My coworker just put me on to him.
He is real good. Josh Imatorbebe.
Don't forget Amari Rogers, all right?
Shh.
No, you don't skip Mario over.
He's 6'4", and he has I think he had a 46-inch vertical that broke the record, combine record. 46-inch vertical at 6'4". That means he's going up a lot more than 6'4".
But can he come down?
He's going up real high at 6'4".
It's great if you go up, but if you come down out of bounds, it don't make sense.
At 6'4", if he's doing a 46-inch vertical, that's almost 4 feet higher in the air than anyone else. So that's tall. So we could have used him last year for Carson Wentz's overthrows. But
Duck, Fulgham's hands were pretty damn dependable last season. I mean,
who's Falcon?
I think he means Fulgham. Don't disrespect the Duck, okay?
I had to duck. I don't know who that is. But yeah. So, but it's then you got Amari Rogers, who's more of a slot guy. You got Jalen. I love Jalen Darden. More of a slot guy too, but he is fast. So dynamic. You got Amor St. Brown from USC, who's real good.
Terrace Marshall, second round.
Terrace Marshall was really good. I think he was thinking to the first round, but Terrace Marshall.
Rondell Moore.
Elijah Moore and Elijah Moore and Rondell Moore.
You skip all these big names and just jump to these guys?
Shut up. Rondell Moore is like Rondell's Pros. I've been calling him Rondell's Pros because that dude is going to be the next Terrence Bruce. I read that from Jim Nagy. I think that people are looking at Rondell Moore as a backup, like a pass catching running back, a sub package running back type, and that's Terrence Bruce. Like you're looking at Terrence Bruce. Okay. I think that you can get a lot of weapons later on in the draft if you want to focus more on the trenches and the secondary in the first one. I think it could work, but I think we're too focused on the Jamar Chases, the Devontae Smiths, the Jalen Waddles, Rashad Batemans, even in Kyle Pitts, because there are a lot of underrated guys later on, and I'd be willing to bet that there's my bold take for the draft this year. Rashad Bateman outperforms Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. Out of those four, Rashad Bateman is better. Here's bold take number 2. Out of those 3 others, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle, one of those 3, I don't know who. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to be that specific. But one of those 3 will perform worse than a third round or later wide receiver.
I'm going to say Jalen Waddle.
I think someone drafted in the third round or later, maybe even second round, but that's too high. Third round or later will perform better than either Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, or Devontae Smith.
That's pretty bold.
I think that this wide receiver class is really sneaky deep, and I think in the right system, these guys can really flourish.
All right, so moving on from that, we do have 2 questions, and then we'll wrap up. Alex Samuel in the chat says, PSN, what do y'all think of our linebacker corps coming together, which we spoke about last week, and me and you, I think we're in agreement that the team doesn't have so much of a need for linebacker, but they have a need for developing who's actually there at linebacker in regards to Davion Taylor, Sean Bradley, Alex Singleton, T.J. Edwards, and now Jannard Avery.
Yeah, we weren't just like brown nosing Sean Bradley last week when we were like, oh yeah, linebackers, yeah, we love them, yeah. I mean, number 47 is now number 47 on the 49ers now, so we don't have to worry.
Is now number 49er. I made it funny. Guys, put an LOL in the chat so Chris knows I made it funny, please.
You know, when people say LOL, especially me, I'm not really LOLing. I'm just putting
always LOLing, okay? And if I say LMAO, take that to friggin' compliment next time I text you, okay?
No. I'm gonna put the thumbs down reaction on that.
I'm gonna put your contact name as thumbs down from now on.
Okay, that's fine. But linebackers, listen, we don't know who Davion Taylor can bring. We absolutely don't know. Sean Bradley, we know, is fast and he can tackle and can flex.
Yes.
Alex Singleton is an absolute madman. He's a psychopath, and we love him. T.J. Edwards is a force up the middle, but he does have his flaws. Jannard Avery's being moved to linebacker, and I really like him, which I think it'll be great there. You got Joe Bacci, who we didn't really see much of. I liked him coming out, but as an undrafted free agent, but we don't know what we got going on there either. You got Rashad Evans, who was a Bears product and come over. I really liked him in college too, but we'll see what happens. So the need for development is there. Depth is needed there also. Mm-hmm. But I would still think they need one real impact guy in there outside of Alex Singleton. Because Alex Singleton, love him to death, can tackle everybody, but he can't cover for his life.
Yeah.
He cannot cover a sneeze right now. Like it's.
Which we're getting fired tomorrow because of Liam now. So thanks a lot for that.
That's fine. Okay. You know how many times I've been fired by Liam and he just never gives me the pink slip. He just forgets about it.
Liam actually doesn't know what a pink slip is.
Well, that's why. So that's why he always fires me. But it's like he fires me, but then he falls asleep because his body clock is so fucked up. So you know.
But shout out to LJ because I did invite him to today's podcast, but he told me he's not feeling good and he's not going to stream. I told him if he streams today that I'm going to give my 2 weeks. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Liam, I quit.
So we have another question in the chat. And this one's from our guy Duck. Do you think JJ will actually come up with it?
When we were talking about the wide receivers, I completely forgot about I completely forgot about him. I forgot he exists.
Listen, I think he'd be a consistent blocker.
I think he'd be great fullback.
He didn't look bad with Jalen last.
I think JJ can be our Mo Alley Cox.
I mean, sure.
Sure. Yeah. But before we go, so we thank everybody for coming today. Special announcement: we are recording again on Friday.
And I'm filing my divorce papers that day too.
And that's me too. But we gotta do what we gotta do for the podcast, right? For PSN. Special announcement. So Friday we will be back at 8:30 Friday night. If you're not doing anything, if you're not being all naughty out there in the pandemic world, and you're gonna be inside following the rules, join us because we will be joined by the Draft Network's 105th ranked player, who no one knew about until the Senior Bowl. Absolutely no one knew about until the Senior Bowl. He put on a show, both on the field and off the field, because this guy has the body of a god.
Damn, that's what
absolute body of a god. And if you don't know who it is, who I'm talking about Quinn Miners, the center guard, everything offensive line from Wisconsin Whitewater, the D3 school that he took everybody by storm at the Senior Bowl, and he's been so good at his pro day, at the Senior Bowl. People absolutely love him. He will be on our podcast Friday night, 8:30. Join us for another prospect interview. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a real fun one.
So you guys know that around this time is usually spicy Chris season. So expect more interviews just like this. We do have one more question. I would hate to not answer this kind of question because it's a player that we've talked about the past 2 off seasons. So Alex asked, and this will be the last question of the podcast. Can Joe Osman play and be effective? I've never seen him seem to catch any of his play. We did catch some of his play last season. You can actually see it in the Nick Chubb highlights against the Eagles, where he stiff arms Joe Osman to the ground and runs for a touchdown. Do you have anything to say about Joe Osman?
I love Joe Osman, but it's like
It's
I've been asking for years now. Can Joe Osman play? And we saw him play once, and he got stiff armed to the moon. But then he got back up and he chased the guy down and he tackled him. So the effort's there.
the effort is there, it's cute, but
listen,
it's hard.
yeah.
You got Josh Sweat right there. I mean,
Just so but I'm quickly looking up Quinn Miner's pro day numbers because
Doug beat us to the punch. Osman's career was ended by that a-hole.
so Quinn Miners, he is, I'll tell you how much he weighs right now, just so you can have an idea. Let's see here right now. Okay. So Quinn Miners is, if it loads. Okay. If it loads, yeah. All right, so he's 6'2" and 7/8.
Okay.
320 pounds. Big dude. He ran a 4.96 40. His 20-yard split was 2.83, which is real good. 1.73, which is real good, 10-yard split. He had a 32-inch vertical. So at 6'2", 320 pounds, he is jumping almost 3 feet in the air. His broad jump was 9 feet 3 inches, which is real fucking good. His shuttle was 4.58, and his 3-cone was 7.54. That put him and our old someone we had on last year, Kent Lee Platty from RES, the relative athletic scoring. That's a 9.91, and that is the 11th best score in RES history for offensive guards from 1987 to 2021. That is 11th out of 1,107 prospects. So that is how athletic this dude is. He is exact what Jay Fizzle just said. That dude is a mutant.
If he was a mutant, you think he's more like colossal, or is he kind of like?
I see it. I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him the Blob.
No,
because the Blob was just standing there like, all right, just hit off me. You got Juggernaut maybe.
Okay, that's a bit more.
Juggernauts just push through people. I think that's something that he can be. I think
Take care, Alex. All right.
You got.
Sorry, I felt bad. I want to say and not want to say bye. It was bugging me.
Yeah, Juggernaut and Deadpool too. You saw him in there.
Can we talk about that? That was phenomenal how they pulled them off. And you know that was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's freaking amazing, man.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds can do it all. But maybe we'll tell him that on Friday. On Friday, we're calling you Juggernaut now because how big you are, how fast you run.
Juggernaut Miners. It has a ring to it.
Yeah, the Juggernaut. It sounds like a fucking minor league baseball team.
Juggernaut Miners. All right, guys. So Friday night, make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget, we will be back 8:30 p.m. sharp. Until then,
Friday, start your weekend off with us.
Exactly. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Afonte. We're flipping the birds.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.